Hi, and thank God it's Friday. Like people always say, thank God it's Friday. Friday, Friday, Friday. Yeah, and it's sunny. Like I'm sitting in a way that the shade is where is my face is in the shade. But yeah, if I was sitting in the direct sunlight, it would have been like this. Sunlight directly on my face. That's why I also like this corner of the room. It kind of allows you to sit comfortably for some time, but not be in the direct sun. But also, when I started recording, I literally was in one of the worst places in terms of light in the apartment. I mean, in my first videos, I was really like, I was on the floor in despair, but I was literally in one of the worst places in the apartment in terms of lighting. I was far from the window and, yeah, not close to the source of light. I had to use two lamps, and even that was too dark. And also, I'm in this like it looks like a standard white shirt, but it's not like quite that standard. It's a bit elongated, and I never actually wear it. Don't know why. I only wore it once yet, so far. Sorry. And I also have no idea what I'll be talking about. I don't know. I felt good about the summer, and even though 2/3 of it is already gone, it's the last day of July. It's the last day of July. It's the last day of July. And I also felt like the energy of the end of July. It's just crazy. Like from the middle of July, from like 18th or something of July, 14th, 15th, and to the through to the end of July. I don't know. The energy was like knocking me off my feet almost. Some days I felt like literally carried forward by the flow of ideas and like feels like you have a fountain inside and the fountain is like working all the time, and it's not a tiny stream, it's like a gigantic flow. Yeah, it's like an enormous avalanche of stuff. And you're having trouble like working through that. And I guess working through stuff is my theme of the year so far, because it's been 7 months and I've done nothing but work through stuff. And I don't know if it's like evident or not, visible or not. I don't really care anymore, but I've done nothing but work through stuff. And I've recently met someone, like a person who's very in tune with spiritual stuff and everything. And I usually never go to such people. I'm not really someone who's a fan of, um, extraordinary stuff and like solving your problems by magic, quote unquote. And I'm not saying she does magic. She doesn't. Like if anyone does, I don't know. If anyone does it, because I feel like everyone and anyone does magic in their own lives. We all do. But what I am saying is, she was telling me just yesterday that there is like this glass with a clear liquid, and it needs to be clear for me to move forward, and I need to anything which is on the bottom of the glass. I don't know actually the word, but like anything that is sitting in the bottom of the glass, I need to rise it up. I need to like raise it up and then get it out and throw it away. Anything that is in the bottom, like get it up and scoop it and throw it away, scoop it and throw it away. And I need to be cleaning that liquid and scooping it out until it's crystal clear. And it's a great metaphor, which I would never have thought of myself. It's a great metaphor of what I'm doing this year, because every time I feel like there is nothing, like I've so many situations came up inside that I had to deal with, so many past regrets, mistakes, offenses, things where I felt betrayed, where I felt like I acted not in the best way, anger, so much anger, anger, anger at people, at situations, injustice, like so much stuff, like something from my like back in my childhood, some things where I felt, even hate towards other people, like basically so much stuff came up and continues to come up, but there was a point where I felt like, well, surely there must have been, I must have worked through everything. Surely there is nothing else, Surely nothing else is relevant here. Like, I mean, I've recently listened, like everyone did, I fell to the Wizard Liz interview, which is a 3 hour interview that came out in the end of July, on a channel I've never seen before. But yeah, I think it's a Muslim creator channel, and basically she talks about an unspeakable abuse, and I've never had any unspeakable abuse or such a dark past and such an intensity. But that's also why, yeah. But okay, what I mean is, I didn't think I had that much darkness and that much bad stuff to throw out, because literally there is no unspeakable abuse to speak of. There is no hard. I mean, there are hard things, but there's nothing that hard. I thought, like, there's nothing that painful. I thought there's just stuff from the past that I maybe haven't completely dealt with, but I feel like constantly every single fucking day I'm like, it comes up and I try to throw it away. It comes up and I try to throw it away. And sometimes my body is reacting well to it, and sometimes it doesn't. And also, like, long running. I don't know if I've spoken about it or not, like a week ago, but after long runs, I feel like the things that are very hard to kind of get up from the bottom of the glass, they come up after like extreme physical exercise and moments of extremity. They come up to the surface, and yeah, I literally had like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like a reckoning with something last weekend, because I was experiencing, no, no, not for the first time, I was experiencing pain, physical pain, and kind of like, no, not on the day, because on the day it was fine, but the next day. And it was not really muscle pain, it was not really the pain. I don't know, like I somehow thought it was emotional, basically. And because I can kind of distinguish whether I did something wrong with my muscles or whether like something is aching because I overtrained, and whether and the cases when it's literally emotional and something came up inside and I had to work through it. And I really didn't know how to, like, nobody gives you any instructions about what to do when a certain area of your body is like experiencing pain and you can sense it's emotional. Are you supposed to be journaling? Are you supposed to be just sitting there remembering? And I ended up kind of like doing my own ad hoc meditation practice, like trying to freestyle basically to get to the root of it. And I got to the root of it and I was crying, and yeah, like it was a very catharsis moment without any retreat, any teacher, any guidance, anything. I just was sitting there and or laying there and I was feeling it, and yeah, it was not pleasant, because it's literally like you're repairing pieces of you which are inside you and which has been broken and aching for a long time. Like, if you ever had a part of you that ached for a long time for something, and it was tied to something emotional, it was tied to your past, to your sense of self, or to the things you haven't allowed yourself to do, to the parts of yourself you haven't allowed yourself to acknowledge, to your fears. Like, basically, if you ever felt like some deep thing is just lodged inside you, and you can't really get it out and you can't really deal with it because you don't have the tools, and the tools you're using aren't quite working. And I felt like sometimes you kind of like with these long distances and stuff, you sometimes come up to the very edge of trying to deal with it, and you succeed eventually. You just gotta go very deep in like in whatever manner is appropriate. And I find that for the deepest stuff, you gotta, yeah, sometimes you gotta do something extreme. You gotta go very, very deep. Because, like, normal runs for me, like, I don't know, 5K, 7K, 10K, they don't touch that part. And I'm not saying every single run has to be like this. You have to over exercise yourself, and you have to, like, force yourself and, like, rape yourself, even. Like, it's a strong word, but, like, or rape yourself and try to access these painful parts of you. But for me, yeah, for me it was healing, even though I felt awful. Like the day after, I felt awful. I literally wasn't expecting that because the day off I felt fine, but the day after I felt awful. Like my body was suffering, and it came after. But also I kind of like worked through it in one day, because last time after the half marathon I needed like a full week, I think 5 days, a full week to recover, because my body was just beaten up and couldn't sustain like anything. I couldn't work, I couldn't concentrate. I was like, I didn't do much. But I'm kind of wondering about that deep place, because I'm also kind of afraid of that pain again, even though it's not unbearable. It's not unbearable. It's hard to sit there with this pain and try to work through it. I won't deny it. It's hard for hours to try to find keys to it and deal with it, but it's not unbearable. It's not unbearable. Um, it's just something you can't run from, because it's inside you. So no matter how hard you run and where you run and what you do, you can't run away from it. Hmm. And I'm wondering, because I'm kind of set up this path for myself, if I want to run a long distance this autumn, more or less every weekend I have to run long distances, more than ever. Every weekend I have to train myself in this way. And I need to get used to running like, you know, 2 hours and a half, 3 hours, 3 hours and a half, like even four, because I know that I will need to run for five and something. And I know it's not going to be easy at all. And I know that I need to get my body accustomed to that shit. Like, I got my body accustomed to the 10K steps every day or more. I got my body accustomed to regular running schedule. I'm slowly getting my body accustomed to like running a bit higher cadences. But basically I need, like, I had also last week to reckon with myself about it, because I think the source, like the essence of it, was that if you've ever had an internal conflict, you know what I'm talking about. Um, there is one part of you that wants one thing and is saying one thing, and there is another part of you that wants another thing and is saying another thing. In that case, there was this childish part and this adult kind of part that came head to head, and this pain was like the child part, crying and saying like, you want to kill me, you want to like kill me, you want to do stuff that I don't want to do, is so hard. You're like, you have no mercy for me, you are cruel to me, you are like using me, you are cruel to me, basically. And the adult part, which is the part with the willpower, was saying, no, actually we are going to run this thing together, no, actually it's going to be a play, it's just playing. And this child part in me was so vocal about the fact that, like, she's suffering, she's suffering, she's suffering, and like, you're being cruel to me, I'm suffering, that I'm even now having like tears in my eyes thinking about it, because it's literally two parts of me. Like, you are listening right now to the adult part, of course, because most of my life, of course, I'm an adult and I'm operating as an adult, and I have responsibility, and I do have a, a to-do list and everything. But the child part was literally saying like, you are insane, you want to run for hours, you want to kill me, you want to kill us, you're like, you're insane, you don't know what you're doing, like, you are like so cruel, you make me do these things, I don't want to do these things, you make me do these things. And I kind of like had this real internal argument, like this argument like between two people, and those are different people and they want different things and they're both inside me. So I was like, I literally, yeah, I literally felt like I was kind of destroying myself and pressing myself down. Like it's a very weird feeling, like the rapist is yourself and the person being raped is yourself as well. Because sometimes you force yourself to do extreme stuff, and this part of you speaks up and is like, "What the fuck are you doing? What if the fuck are you doing to me? Like, how dare you do that shit to me? Like, I'm just a child. I don't want to do anything like this." And I do not think that most of people have this as clear as I had it. Like most people just feel the resistance, and they just feel that speaking up. They just feel that anger. They just feel the thing, and they feel their anger of themselves against themselves, but they can't quite name it with those terms. And I had to have that argument, and I had to have that reckoning, and that like two sides of the coin standing against each other. And they were both equally strong because I have the motivation of an adult, but but I do understand that other part that is actually hurting. And I do feel like people have problems in life when they don't recognize that part of themselves that is hurting and that is hurt, and they don't know what to do with it. And I also, for years, I didn't know quite what to do with it. So I was kind of stuffing it down, shutting it up, shutting it up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Like I literally was like, "You're a child. You have no say. It's me who's going to act, and you're going to do what I want you to do." But somehow, when you're really in extreme physical like pain or conditions, or like when you're in in a situation when you're really suffering, sometimes like that forcing down and that stuffing their mouth doesn't really work. And you gotta have a conversation with yourself about what the fuck you are doing. And that was the time for me to have that conversation after this like 3 hour run, where my child part was like, "You are killing me. Like, do you know you are killing me? You are killing me. Like, you are insane. You've lost your marbles." And the pain went away after like certain, reconciliation. Yeah, the pain went slowly away. I'm not saying it's not there's nothing left there, and I'm not saying it won't happen again after long runs, but I found myself explaining to myself what the fuck I'm doing. I found myself explaining to myself why I want to do this and why do I need the support of myself to do this. I found myself explaining to myself inside what the fuck is happening right now. I found myself saying, like, we are walking a certain path for a very long time and we're going to walk it. I don't know for how long, and I need your help. And, like, you need to stop. Like, no, I didn't say you need to stop, but I said, like, we need to do it together because otherwise, my internal conflict, my internal, like, relentless resistance, and my internal, like, disagreement will stop me and I will never reach the goal because that part of inside myself will be hurt and will be suffering. Yeah. Because ultimately, I do think walking towards what you want in life is suffering. Like, sometimes it is suffering. And I do think most of the successful people suffered on the way to their goals, or on the way to achieving their dreams. Like, truly, truly suffered. Whether it was from money, lack of money, a lack of recognition, lack of praise, Whether it was from being abandoned, being alone, isolated, whether it was from other people's critique or other people's mocking, whether it was from not knowing whether they will ever reach it, but most of the, or maybe it was from, their ideas not working, their businesses not working, from losing everything. So I do think that most great people suffer and suffered on the way to the goal. And yeah, I I've always thought that I don't think anyone reaches it lightly, and I don't think anyone reaches it accidentally, and I don't think anyone reaches it and maintains it without effort.